Knight Oleksandr Usyk stepped into the ring against Thabiso Mchunu. The script already felt written. Olympic gold medalist, future pound-for-pound king, a man known for breaking fighters down with movement, angles, and a left hand that arrives before opponents realize it's coming. Everything about this fight was supposed to be routine, but boxing has a way of punishing assumptions. From the opening bell, something felt different. Mchunu didn't freeze. He didn't retreat into survival mode. Instead, he brought an awkward rhythm, a timing that refused to line up with Usyk's expectations. His jab snapped just enough. His head movement disrupted just enough. And suddenly the champion wasn't throwing. Usyk circled. He watched. He waited. Round after round, the left hand stayed holstered. Commentators noticed it. Fans questioned it. This wasn't dominance. This was restraint. Mchunu, the shorter man, found moments of success simply by being difficult to read. He wasn't hurting Usyk, but he was denying him comfort. In boxing, comfort is everything. When a fighter can't settle into rhythm, power disappears. And for the first time in a long while, Oleksandr Usyk was being forced to solve a problem in real time. The crowd expected fireworks. What they got instead was tension, the dangerous kind. Because when a fighter like Usyk goes quiet, it doesn't mean he's lost. It means he's calculating. And calculation, in boxing, is often the most violent phase of all. What separates elite fighters from great ones is not how they start, it's how they adapt. As the fight moved forward, Mchunu continued to disrupt. His rhythm wasn't smooth, it wasn't pretty, but it was effective. He'd step in, touch Usyk, then vanish just before counters arrived. For many fighters, this kind of opponent creates frustration. Frustration leads to mistakes. Mistakes lead to knockouts, but Usyk doesn't rush solutions. He studies them. Every exchange became data. Where does Mchunu's head go after the jab? How does he exit after throwing the right hook? Does he reset left or right? These questions don't look dramatic on camera, but they decide fights. Usyk's feet stayed active, not aggressive. His jab flicked, not committed. He was measuring reactions, not chasing damage. Meanwhile, Mchunu gained confidence. The scorecard stayed close. The commentary reflected uncertainty. This was no steamroll, but underneath the surface, something was changing. Usyk's eyes followed patterns. His stance narrowed. His positioning grew sharper. The Ukrainian wasn't being shut down, he was building a map. In boxing, rhythm can protect you until it becomes predictable, and Mchunu's biggest strength was slowly becoming his weakness. Because once Usyk finds the pattern, he doesn't exploit it emotionally. He exploits it surgically. The silence before the storm stretched on, and when the adjustment finally came, it wouldn't be loud at first. It would be precise. The shift didn't arrive with chaos. It arrived with timing. One clean moment. One perfectly chosen shot. The left hand finally came, not wild, not forced, a left uppercut threaded straight through Mchunu's rhythm. It landed where the head always returned. That was the key. Mchunu went down not because he was hurt before, but because the illusion of safety had been shattered. In boxing, once a fighter realizes his pattern has been solved, everything slows down except the opponent. Usyk's body language changed immediately. The patience remained, but now it came with authority. The jab doubled. The angles tightened. Mchunu tried to reset, tried to reclaim the tempo that had carried him early. But the space was gone. Every step he took was met by Usyk already standing there. This wasn't a sudden explosion, it was a controlled takeover. Another knockdown followed, cleaner, sharper, less mercy. The crowd now understood what they were watching. This wasn't about power. It was about inevitability. Usyk wasn't reacting anymore. He was dictating. Each punch had a purpose. Each movement removed an option. Mchunu's toughness kept him standing, but toughness alone doesn't stop precision. And once Usyk smells control, he doesn't give it back. The fight had crossed a line from competitive to terminal. The only question left wasn't who would win, it was how long it would take. By the later rounds, the fight no longer resembled its beginning. Mchunu's movement slowed, not dramatically, subtly. And subtlety is everything at this level. Usyk's punches arrived in clusters now, not combinations thrown for show, but sequences designed to strip defenses piece by piece. Jab, angle, left hand, pivot, reset. Each action forced Mchunu to make decisions half a second too late. Another knockdown came, and this time it felt different. Less surprise, more resignation. Usyk stood tall, balanced, almost calm. This is where champions separate themselves. Many fighters smell blood and rush. Usyk stayed composed. He knew the finish wasn't about force, it was about position. Mchunu still fired back, still showed heart, but his punches landed without consequence. Usyk's defense absorbed them effortlessly. Slips, shoulder rolls, small steps that created big problems. The ring had shrunk, corners became traps. The Southpaw stance cut off escape routes. Every exchange now favored the champion. The crowd noise swelled, but Usyk remained eerily quiet. He wasn't performing, he was executing. This was the phase where the fight stopped being competitive and started becoming a lesson. A lesson in why rhythm fighters live and die by timing. And why fighters like Usyk survive every style, because they don't need dominance immediately, they just need time. Final sequence came the way the entire fight had unfolded, controlled, precise, unavoidable. Another clean left hand landed. Mchunu went down again. The referee stepped closer this time, reading the signs that fighters themselves refused to acknowledge. When the stoppage finally arrived, there was no outrage, no debate, just acceptance. Oleksandr Usyk had taken a difficult, awkward opponent and dismantled him layer by layer. This wasn't a highlight reel war. It was something more dangerous, a demonstration of mastery. Usyk didn't win because he was stronger. He won because he understood the fight better with every passing minute. That's what makes this performance special. It shows the side of boxing casual fans often miss. The patience, the study, the adjustments made under pressure. When Usyk walked away calm as ever, the message was clear. Styles may vary, rhythms may disrupt, but intelligence, discipline, and timing always rise to the top. This fight wasn't about domination from the first bell. It was about control earned over time. And once Usyk earned it, he never let go. That is why this bout matters. Not for the knockout alone, but for the story it tells about how elite champions think inside the ring.